Hello everyone, welcome to elliottwave.com YouTube channel. This is Henry and I hope everyone is doing well, and most importantly, stay safe, right? Stay safe and healthy. Um, Over here, today is Friday, March 13. The time is 4 a.m. GMT. Over here, we are looking at the chart of the DAX. This is a 15 minutes chart, right? And now this is a short-term sort of overview, but I'd like to sort of bring to your attention about some of the other possibilities, right? So here, if we take a look at the chart, um, this is wave B over here, and now that means we are in the wave C, so it's an ABC from the peak then, and we got this 1 and 2 of C, and we are in the wave 3 of C. So all of them subdivides into 5 waves. So the subdivision of the blue here is the red, 1 2 3 4 5, and this black is the subdivision of the red here, right, as a diagonal. So we got this 1 2 3 4 and then 5. So based on this, that means in the shorter cycle, the selling pressure is going to continue because a lot of people got into panic and so on. Now I think the Fed has been trying to calm down with the injection of the money in the repo market, but it only works initially, and then by the end of the day it's sort of reverse again. But again, I think we need to be really cool-headed here and think about it the following way. I know that people on the West, like in the US, UK, they all are in panic right now because they are afraid to become the next Italy, right, or the next Iran, and the US is sort of underprepared in terms of anticipating the virus, right, and not enough test kits and all those things. So I think we need to ask the question: is this really existential threat for majority of people, or is it going to be something less severe than that? Now, I'm not trying to downplay the severity of the virus. Now, obviously, we see example already, Italy and also Iran and China completely being overwhelmed, and a lot of people actually die. Right? Will not really undermine or in any way downplay the severity, right? But if you look at the recovery rate of the virus is also around 80%. So in a way, it's very bad, but it's not really the apocalypse, right? It's not like okay, is this the end of the world sort of pandemic type we're talking about here. So I think, yeah, it is reasonable that fear and everything is everywhere in the market, right? And I'm not saying it's gonna bottom tomorrow or anything like that, but what I'm saying here is that we need to always put things into perspective, all right? And the DAX over here, we've been selling off very, very quickly in the past just 2 weeks or so, and currently we're still in the shorter cycle can see more pressure as people start still it seems to be panicking and momentum still to the downside. But if we look back in the larger degree, and let me show you in the daily, I think it is time for us to be a bit careful, especially if anybody is trying to keep selling this thing, because from the top here we've been in basically vertical move on the downside, and we got a clear swing connector here in the middle, very shallow, but that's the connector over there, and that is your B. All right, that is your B over here, and that is your A over here, and we have reached this 100% area, right? We have reached the 100% area, and in fact we are now here. So this is the 1.618, which is the 8683. Now if the DAX continues to plunge and hits the 1.618, now one can say that it actually increases the risk that this entire decline is not an ABC, but in fact it is a 1 2 3, right? And if it is a 1 2 3, then that means we could get a 4 and a 5. So we're gonna be probably is like an all-time correction, right? So we peak from the all-time low, and then maybe starting to do a full correction for the entire rally. So if we assume the all-time low is 0, then basically we may have already started a much bigger correction than just correction of the 2009, possibly, right? So but it's step by step. So for now, we can assume for now that this is an ABC, unless it breaks below 1.618 extension, then that increases the risk. This is a 1 2 3 4 5. For now we can assume it is an ABC. All right, and then so if that's the case, then as you can see, yes, in the shorter cycle we could see for the downside, but it's time to be careful from the short, right? It's time to be careful from the short. And you know, it can start to base here to slow down the sell-off, and then starting to slowly form temporary. I'm not saying it's gonna go to new high or anything like that, but temporarily starting to show some basing pattern, and then starting to bounce, right? At least to bounce. So in a way, over here depends on what you intend to do. Like if you are short term, then yes, still can see for the downside, there's no question on that. But at the same time, if looking at the larger degree, it is really in the time for the short to if you were able, let's say, to sell it from somewhere higher, it's time to be careful, you know, and be able to take some profit and things like that, because potentially there's a potential we could start to bounce. Maybe next week, on Friday, probably still gonna get a little bit more selling pressure here. Okay, so that's the idea here, guys. In the DAX, right? Shorter cycle can see a little bit more downside, but we should be careful with the downside as we reach this area. Now, even if we do hit 1.618, it doesn't necessarily mean we're gonna keep going down non-stop. We're still gonna be, even if it is 1 2 3 4 5, let's say, we're still gonna be doing a wave 4, right? So still, that is also a suggestion that we need to be careful, because you never know whether this is a 5-wave down or just an ABC. If it is an ABC, it could potentially start to do a larger bounce. Alright, so have a good weekend, everyone, and if you do like this video, please do like and subscribe to our channel, as well as if you want to try our service, you can check our 14 days free trial, and also the link to subscribe our service. Currently we have 50% off in the platinum plan. Alright, so see you all again next week. Have a nice weekend, everyone.